السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. الحمد لله رب العالمين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the universe, and peace and blessing of Allah be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all those who follow his path till the day of judgment. Today I got the question from a person, and it's a lady, but my answer will be for all men and women. She asked the question. She said that my mother has passed away, and she generally asks two questions. My mother has passed away, and I wanted to do Umrah on her behalf, and I got the collections given to me from the relatives, so that can I perform the Umrah with that collection. Okay, Hamza, which means they gave me some financial support. First of all, I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling, and Alhamdulillah, I know there are scholars, great scholars, mashallah, they have given this fatwa, and if you're happy with that, then please don't listen to my explanation. Okay, you can go by that. But Alhamdulillah, honestly speaking, Umrah is ibadah, worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it is only considered to be part of the ibadah if and with ruling as compulsory thing when it is combined with Hajj. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, وَأَتِمُّ الْحَجَّ وَالْعُمْرَةَ لِلَّهِ, that complete your Hajj and Umrah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So based on this, this is the only verse of the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah where people have taken this as into their consideration, making it Umrah as compulsory. Let me explain to you. Five daily prayers are compulsory, but only two Fajr, two Rakat of Fajr is compulsory, four Rakat of Zohar is compulsory, four Rakat of Asr is compulsory, three Rakat of Maghrib is compulsory, and four Rakat of Isha is compulsory. So these are the compulsory things. The Sunnah before Fajr, two Rakat. Sunnah before Zohar, which is sometimes two you can pray, sometimes four you can pray, and two after that, after the first prayer, and two after the Maghrib and two after Isha. These are Sunnah prayers. If you separate them from the Fard prayers, they are considered as Sunnahs. And if somebody doesn't pray the Fard and prays the Sunnah, he won't get any reward because Fard is compulsory. This is additional, like a support to your shortcoming of your Fard prayers. Same thing, fasting in the month of Ramadan is Fard. But if you are not fasting any day of the Ramadan and you are fasting 11 months of Islamic calendar after Ramadan or before Ramadan, then your fast will not have any benefit for you because fard, you left the fard. Same thing with the zakat. Once in a year, if you have a threshold and you give the zakat on time, then it is accepted because you have completed the fard for that. But if you don't do that and you 364 days 364 days of the year, you pay the sadaqat and charity and all that. But the day that you have to pay the zakat, you are not giving it, then Allah will not reward you for that. Because this is very clear in Islam. They are the five pillars of Islam. We know that. Shahada is their declaration of the faith. Then praying five daily prayers, which are first prayers are counted for you. Fasting of the Ramadan, zakat in once in your every year if you have you're eligible, you have the threshold for that. And Hajj is also the same thing. So when we talk about Hajj, then there are three types of Hajj: Hajj Tamattu, Hajj Qiran, and Hajj Ifrad. So when you bring the Hajj Tamattu and Hajj Qiran, then the Umrah is part of that. But when you pray, you're performing Hajj Ifrad, then there's no Umrah in that. So now the Umrah is gone. So let's understand with this point, making it short. If you are only going for Umrah and you have no intention for the Hajj, then this Umrah is counted not as fard ibadah. No, this is nafil ibadah. That too when you are doing it for yourself. When you consider Hajj Tamattu, then it is part of Umrah. The Umrah is part of this Hajj Tamattu. You have to do that. You have to. If you're performing Hajj Qiran, yes, Umrah is part of that. You have to do that. So you can't separate that. You can't say, oh, I'm having intention of Hajj Tamattu, but I will only do Umrah and come back. Hajj Quran, I'll do Umrah and I'll come back. I don't carry out the rituals of Hajj Tamattu or Hajj Quran with regards to Hajj. No, I won't do that. No, then your Hajj is not accepted because Umrah gets the ruling of Fard when it is Hajj Tamattu and Hajj Qiran. When Umrah is separated, then ask any scholar of fiqh, they will explain to you. And then Umrah, by singling it out, it is only Sunnah Ibadah. So now coming back to the ruling of this, the sister has asked me, so I'm giving the answer, general answer to everybody that Alhamdulillah, it is not clear from any ayah of the Quran, it is not clear from any hadith of Rasulullah sallam. It is not even clear from 23 years of Rasulullah sallam. When the Hajj became compulsory, we still had few years. When Rasulullah sallam was alive, people performed Umrah, people performed Hajj, and people had lots of questions answered by Prophet Muhammad sallam. Lots of encouragement were made by Rasulullah sallam for people to go for Hajj, people to go for Umrah. And one of them was that can we perform the Hajj? Can we perform the Hajj on behalf of someone of our relatives, could be mother, could be father, could be other person, who could not do the Hajj? Rasulullah gave the answer, yes, you can, conditionally that you have done your Hajj, your first Hajj first. So this answer is clear. Nowhere anybody has ever asked the same question for the Umrah. XYZ is not able to do the Umrah. Can we do the Umrah on behalf of this person? Nobody asked and nobody quoted from Prophet ﷺ that he ever said about this. So my understanding is that why it is not mentioned, that means that it is not needed. If it is not needed and the religion was completed in 23 years, and being Umrah is being, as I said, it is ibadah, but being that a part of Hajj, this was not discussed by singling it out and the ruling for that, then, alhamdulillah, we should not consider that this is something sunnah. And somebody gives the answer to the hadith of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, okay, that is different than someone who was, unable to do that. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala didn't go for Umrah separately, didn't go for singling out Umrah as an ibadah. She went for Hajj. So remember that that's why my point is still the same. When you are bringing Umrah with Hajj, then it's a different ruling. When you're singling out Umrah, then the Umrah is never been for ever, alhamdulillah. So, and second thing, it has never been asked by any person during the lifetime of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that can we do the badal of Umrah for on behalf of someone else, alhamdulillah. So my answer is very clear. Now, the last point I want to make it clear that is very serious that Prophet Muhammad SAW loved Abu Talib the most amongst the non-Muslims. But he himself has never, ever after his death, he didn't perform any Umrah on his behalf, he didn't perform any Hajj on his behalf, he didn't perform any Sadaqat and Zakat on his behalf. So, fasting is also something that if a person has missed some of the days and he was a practicing person, and he could not make them up, then there are two options. Either you fast on behalf of that person for him, for the sake of Allah, but on his behalf or her behalf, or you give fidya, which means the days that a person has missed, you feed one person one meal for one missed day. When it comes to Hajj, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam didn't do any Hajj for any of his relatives, Hajj Badal, not even Umrah. And as I said that, now why I brought this story of Abu Talib, because during the time of Rasulullah, there were munafiqeen, hypocrites, who were not worshipping Allah for the sake of Allah. And there were kuffar who never prostrated, never prayed for the sake of Allah. And some of those who are mentioned in the Quran, in the Hadith, that they were worshipping Allah and they were performing Hajj and other things about the Quraysh. Yes, of course, but they were associating partners with Allah. They were committing shirk, so it's all gone vain. Allah rejected that ibadah. So now my main point is that we as Muslims we have to be serious in our life. We may not be perfectly praying, fasting, doing halal things all the time. We may not be even practicing seriously about our life, but we don't deny. We try sometimes when our heart, our iman is motivated and it is increasing. We do lots of good things, but we never stand against any Islamic principle, any Islamic pillar. We admit that we are weak. We admit that our mistakes, that we admit our shortcomings. Such kind of people, if they have any intention to perform the Hajj, but they could not do it, they were sincere about it, they could not do it, then yes, you can do the Hajj on behalf of this person, man or woman, whether they are alive or they died. But if a person has never ever put any sincere effort to study the deen, to practice the deen, to wish to be a practicing person, then such person, if he or she dies, you collect the whole world together to do khatam of Quran for this person. You collect all the people and hire people to pray on their behalf 5 times a day and you pay them. They are praying every day and you're paying for that, or you collect people and you give them sadaqat and zakat and all that, or you bring, like number of people and pay them every year for their Hajj cost and expenses, and you say that do the Hajj on behalf of the person. Believe me, my brothers and sisters, honestly speaking, and I take this responsibility of this fatwa, that a person who wasn't practicing and wasn't serious in his life about the deen and he died or she died or still that person is alive and you show sympathy and you do all these things, it won't be accepted. So with this, my brothers and sisters, I don't want to upset you, but my matter is very clear, and I consider that for my relatives as well, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, my wife, my children, others, everybody who is related to me, that I say that the Islam is very clear. And Hadith in Sahih Muslim is very clear. It says that if your actions are not, means you don't put your efforts to do the deen, practice the deen, then the sympathy of your relatives in Khandan will not help you. Man bata'a amaluhu lam yusra' nasabuhu. If your actions are not put into it properly from yourself, sincerely, then your sympathy of your people will not help you. Alhamdulillah. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.